Hello.
Happy almost Friday.
Yes, waiting for it.
You're like, it's been a
been
busy
waiting
week.
for it, yeah.
I'm not waiting for it.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to Canada. Oh, I gotta fix this.
Oh, yeah, well,
Here we
that'll
go.
be a fun trip.
You guys were just complimenting me too.
I
I blew
know.
it already.
All a lie. Just kidding.
Right.
Hey, thanks for joining us for KARE 11 News at noon. It's another warm day outside, and as we head toward the weekend, we're now preparing for a KARE 11 Weather Impact Alert Day. Plus, a search is underway for a missing Dakota County woman.
That's correct. We have just gotten new information from police about an arrest in that case, and I'll have some of those details coming up.
Okay, and I know, John, you're looking at the weather right now.
Yeah, I mean, things are quiet right now. They're going to get busy. You alluded to that. We're going to see an active weekend. It's 83, and finally we don't have a chance for these pop-up showers or thunderstorms. Looks like today's just a classic summer day. Dew points have come down a little bit today to 61. I know that doesn't seem like a lot, and you probably still think it's humid. Trust me, it can get a lot more humid. You'll feel it this weekend. That lowering the dew point actually lowers the chance for rain. 83 out there right now, St. Cloud and Brainerd at 81, Mankato 79 degrees. No clouds out there. I mean, there are cumulus clouds developing, but for the most part, it's just a mostly sunny to partly cloudy classic summer day. We'll hang out in the middle 80s, kind of bounce around 84, 85. Maybe get a high around 86, but temperatures should hover where they're at now. You warm up very quickly in the summertime. Highs mostly sunny everywhere. And pretty much 85. International Falls might be the warm spot today at 86. Now, things are going to change. What you're looking at here is Saturday's chance for storms. Saturday and Sunday both bring storm threats. They also are going to bring the highest and warmest temperatures of the year. We'll track them both in your forecast.
Hey, looking forward to that. Thanks, John. Now to our top story. Into our newsroom in the last 90 minutes, the Dakota County Sheriff told us why authorities arrested a man at a home in Randolph Township just days after she went missing. Michelle, I know you've been following this story all morning. What are the new developments?
Well, certainly there's a lot to the story, Cece. The Dakota County Sheriff confirmed to KARE 11 in the last 90 minutes they have arrested Nikki Anderson's boyfriend, but there is no evidence at this time to say he's connected to her disappearance. But it does explain why authorities searched Nikki's family estate yesterday after the 56-year-old went missing Saturday morning. The sheriff revealed officials were looking for her boyfriend and that Nikki's boyfriend turned himself in. But this is related to a felony warrant more than a year old in another county. Authorities are still searching for Nikki with fears mounting every day she is not home.
Maybe let's have our coffee first. She said, no, I'll be right back, Mom. The last time I seen her. The one that was doing the wood here, maybe he took her somewhere or somebody she knew. I didn't think much about it. I mean, this is rural Randolph. These things don't happen.
And she says her daughter Nikki left to get the mail and never returned. And we have doorbell footage of that moment. I'll show you that coming up in just 30 minutes, Cece.
Yeah, hopefully we can get some much needed answers in this search. Thanks, Michelle. Well, an hour ago, we learned the 17-year-old who drowned earlier this week at a popular swimming spot outside of St. Cloud is from Brooklyn Center. Here's what we know about the incident so far.
I'm Morgan Wolf. A 17-year-old died this week after jumping off a 10-foot-tall cliff at Quarry Park. Witnesses called 911 on Tuesday around 11 to report a possible drowning after seeing that teen jump in and not resurface. Sadly, officials found his body in about 31 feet of water later that night. The park doesn't have lifeguards on duty, and sadly, this is also the third death since 2021.
This afternoon, the past of a Minnesota State Trooper charged with killing a teen in a Rochester crash is now being called into question. The victim's lawyers are now calling for an independent investigation into why Trooper Shane Roper was still out on the road. 18-year-old Olivia Flores was killed in May when Trooper Roper broadsided the vehicle she was in at a busy intersection near the Apache Mall. According to the criminal complaint, Roper was driving 83 miles per hour without his lights or sirens activated. Now, Roper's personnel file reveals that he was disciplined 4 different times in the last 5 years for actions including speeding without his lights and sirens on. The lawyers for Flores' family say her loved ones are outraged.
Because when you look at this now retrospectively, it just looks like a time bomb. An individual driving this way, something bad is going to happen. And the worst possible thing did happen. He took Olivia's life, and that was entirely avoidable.
Trooper Roper is on administrative leave, which is standard. He'll be in court next month. Today, Minneapolis Parks and Rec workers are still on strike even after their original deadline to return to work. Audrey Russo shows us why it's been extended.
The bright orange pops of picket signs against the city's green spaces aren't going anywhere anytime soon. LiUNA Local is going to continue their picket. Now, they're not only picketing in the parks, they're also putting on the pressure at city park board meetings like the one last night.
363 leadership has asked members, 363 leadership.
That's Minneapolis Park Board Superintendent Al Bangura trying to speak over union members who filled the room. The union is pushing for higher wages, more protection, and time off. Bangura argues most union members don't know what's in the Park Board's final contract offer. Bangura says the Park Board made a fair offer, and he actually accused union leadership of withholding from membership details of that offer that they walked away from.
Why won't they bring this? Why won't they bring this if the vote, instead of unilaterally holding their members to a strike? We have asked and continue to ask that 363 leadership bring our current offer to their membership.
LiUNA Local 363 and the Park Board have been negotiating for a fair contract since December. The 300 park workers want higher pay, with 94% voting to strike. At a rally last night, the union leadership brushed off criticism from the Park Board, banding together.
We're united. We have each other's backs. Organized labor has our back. The community has our back. And we will fight until we get a fair contract and the respect that we deserve.
Now, the Park Board is refusing to come back to the negotiating table until they say the union membership fully and formally votes no on the contract that they last offered. What this means for you? Well, we could see more park events getting canceled, like the Minnesota Orchestra concert that was put on pause earlier this week. Back to you.
Thanks to Audrey for that breakdown. In a little over an hour, a Minneapolis City Council committee is set to take up an important issue, putting traffic speed cameras back out on the roads. During this past legislative session, lawmakers passed a bill allowing Minneapolis to go ahead with a pilot program that would reinstate cameras to catch speeders and other traffic violators. The program can start as soon as August of next year. At today's meeting, the Climate and Infrastructure Committee will consider an ordinance change to allow the project to move forward and provide updates about logistics, like where the cameras will go. A safety plan is in the works for the Rapidan Dam and the bridge over the Blue Earth River. Last month's flooding likely damaged the bridge's stability, but they haven't been able to do a full evaluation. Emergency management officials are waiting to meet with FEMA to see how much it will cost to repair. The Army Corps of Engineers will visit in the next few weeks. Meanwhile, mayors from 10 states are meeting with government officials about the flooding along the Mississippi River. They're expected to focus on the impacts that the high waters are having on communities bordering the river and what to do about recovery. NOAA will also address the potential effects the flooding will have into late summer. The mayors are part of the Mississippi River Cities and Towns initiative dedicated to creating a coordinated voice for the river. Meanwhile, across the country, extreme heat is now being linked to at least 33 deaths. Over 100 million people are seeing oppressive heat. NBC's Erin McLaughlin brings us the impact.
Hey there, it's been absolutely sweltering here in Washington, D.C. I want you to check something out because this is the talk of this neighborhood. This is what remains of a waxwork replica of the Lincoln Memorial. It was installed outside this elementary school back in February. Now a melted mess. The artist tells us they always knew it could potentially melt. I mean, it is made of wax, just not this quickly. A stark illustration of just how hot it has been in the Capitol, and also to put things into consideration with this heat wave. I was speaking to the head of that summit, the NATO Security Summit. He's in charge of security here in the Capitol for dozens of world leaders, and in his mind, the greatest threat to that summit at this point is the heat, is these extreme temperatures, because these extreme temperatures can be deadly, contributing to more than 36 deaths across at least 6 states. We're also seeing some record temps continuing out west, with Las Vegas hitting at least 118 degrees on back-to-back days. Spare a thought for the folks in Houston. More than 1 million still without power after Hurricane Beryl caused damage. Remnants of that deadly storm also causing havoc in the Northeast, including 2 destructive tornadoes overnight in upstate New York. And speaking to doctors, they say that if you are suffering any symptoms of heat exhaustion, including muscle aches, headaches. The key here is to act quickly, cool off as fast as you can, stay inside, and stay hydrated. Back to you.
Some good advice there. Overseas, French authorities say a fire in a medieval cathedral is now under control after it broke out this morning. The Gothic cathedral in Normandy is widely known from a series of Monet paintings. Fire officials say the fire started in a spire that was under renovation. They say the cathedral had to be evacuated and a security perimeter was set up. Because the spire was mostly made of metal, the risk of the fire spreading was low. This afternoon, the IRS is cracking down to collect money from millionaires who haven't paid the taxes they owe. The agency found about 1,600 taxpayers who make more than $1 million and owe more than $250,000 in tax debt. More than $1 billion has now been collected from them. The effort is still ongoing.
We are just over 2 weeks away from the Summer Olympic Games, and now the entire 592-person roster is set, representing Team USA in 31 different sports. We're also getting our first look at Team USA men's basketball in its first exhibition game against Canada out in Vegas. The matchup pitted Anthony Edwards against Wolves teammate Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Ant-Man and Team USA walked away with the win, 86-72. Now, it came just hours after news of a big shakeup. Clippers star Kawhi Leonard withdrew from the team due to concerns over him being healthy enough to compete. He has been replaced by Boston Celtics guard Derek White. And here is our very first look at the uniforms of the U.S. gymnastics teams, what they'll wear when they compete in Paris. So check that out. They feature thousands of Swarovski crystals in a red, white, and blue color palette in a variety of designs. They'll also feature pearls as a tribute to Paris. It's the very first time the uniforms have been revealed prior to competition.